Hey, what's up? It's Chris Crescent here with another episode of Late Listening. I've been doing a series on albums that. What the hell was that? Explosions outside. I've been doing a series on albums that came out in 1995, and today it's Sunny Day Real Estate, the Pink album, LP2, the self titled record, whatever you want to call it. This is Sunny Day Real Estate at their weirdest. And I have here the original record as well as the 2009 remaster reissue that comes with a whole lot of liner notes and two bonus tracks. So I want to talk about this record, both of these releases, and I want to talk about what this record is and is not. Because actually, I don't consider this to be Sunny Day Real Estate's second record. I know that's kind of a hot take. I feel like it's more of a collection of like B-sides and demos and weirdness. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So hear me out, all right? I'm not going to be playing so much music on this episode. It's still booming out there. But I hope that you'll join me for my little analysis and discussion. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, first let's take a look at the art. Well, let's take a look at the color pink. There's not actually much art per se, but when Sub Pop Records asked the band what they wanted for the cover art, Sub Pop Records had sent them like some close-up images of like an eye, like a human eye, and the band was like, "What the hell is this?" And so William Goldsmith was like, "Just make it pink." And put a fly in the corner. And so Sub Pop Records, basically, yeah, they made it pink, and oh look, there's a fly in the corner. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. And then, you can see the little track list on the back. I do wish the track list had numbers. It always irritates me when the tracks are not numbered because I can never like count correctly. And then also here you can see on the re-release, the 2009 remaster re-release, there are two bonus tracks. After Rodeo Jones, there's Spade and Parade, which was originally released on the Pushhead 7-inch, and Bucket of Chicken from the Northern Clam Sessions. What's that all about? And this one has kind of a cool little sleeve here that slides out, and inside, still pink. And here is a nice little retrospective on what was happening with the band in 1994 and 1995. There aren't many bands in rock history that have followed up a landmark debut album by breaking up less than a year later. But Seattle's Sunny Day Real Estate, vocalist-guitarist Jeremy Enyak, guitarist Dan Horner, bassist Nate Mendel, and drummer William Goldsmith, has never been a regular band. And the story of its sophomore release is filled with all the drama and emotion that made its music so instantly compelling. And you get a bunch of retrospectives from the band members. Jeremy Enyak doesn't really talk much about it. He's like, I don't really remember. And Jonathan Poneman from Sub Pop interjects a little bit here and there. And also Brad Wood has some quotes in here. And then toward the end, there's actually Ben Gibbard from Death Cab for Cutie, as well as Craig Wedren from Shudder to Think, offering kind of a larger perspective on the band. Ooh, looks like these staples are getting rusty. That's what happens when you live in a humid climate. And for some reason, I drew a copyright sign on the front of this in a black marker. Why did I do that? I don't know. I must have been high. All right, let's talk about the tracks. Most of these tracks are unfinished. It's a pretty raw record. I always get confused when people say like they love this album and they think it's like such a great an emotional catharsis or something like that. Because to me, I feel like this album is just cobbled together from like miscellaneous stuff. It's not like I don't like it. I think that this record is amazing for what it is. But I don't really see it as like Sunny Day's official second record. I always hold up How It Feels to Be Something On as the amazing record that it is. And this one, it just always feels kind of like an EP that goes along with their first record, Diary. I just feel like these go together so much. Like whenever I think about this record, I just think like, oh, it's just the outtakes from Diary and B-sides and, a few things that they recorded afterwards. But it's like the songs that are for this record are so raw and they're so unfinished. Jeremy Enyak's vocals are completely feral. He's singing like nonsense lyrics half the time because they're basically scratch lyrics. With the intention, that he would sing the real lyrics later on, which he never did because the band broke up. So it's like this is a double album, and Diary is, the first disc, and then this is like the extra stuff. So going track by track, the first track, Friday. Friday was actually from the Diary sessions, but it was re-recorded for this. It's a very strange album opener. Again, I don't consider this like an official album, so like that doesn't bother me, but it is still just kind of weird. Like, I feel like even though this is from the Diary sessions, I still feel like this song itself doesn't feel completely finished to me. And I'm not sure how finished any of the lyrics really were for this record. I mean, the fact that these songs were left off of Diary, it kind of seems like, to me, like none of the lyrics really make any sense. I mean, there's some cool lines here and there, but for the most part, it's like really, really bizarre. And like some of the songs don't even have titles. Like 5-4 is just the time signature, and 8 is like the eighth song that they wrote. So like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how much like thought was really put into that. But then some people are like, "Oh, it's such an emotional record. It's such like a cathartic record." Which, like, sure, musically, yes, but lyrically, and I'm like a big lyrics person, and so actually this record I don't even really listen to the lyrics that much because it's just like, what? But again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that this record is very interesting. The things that I'm saying are not criticisms necessarily. It's more of like, it's fascinating. Like, it's such a weird time in the Sunny Day real estate trajectory. And yeah, I mean, I go back to this record a lot actually, and I like try to listen to it and figure it out. Like, what were they doing? Like, what was Jeremy Enyaq singing about? And I do like how it begins with like the beautiful guitar, but then it kind of falls into that, like the verses are this kind of very grungy. I feel like this is Sunny Day Real Estate's grungiest record. I know that they're not considered grunge, but I put them in with the Seattle sound to a degree. I just, yeah, this record especially, the way the guitars sound, the kind of down-tuned, the fuzz, the desperate, raggedy vocals. It's really, it's kind of a grunge album. And yeah, Friday, Jeremy Enyaq just reaching, the chorus is like soaring but kind of painful, and he really lets go right away, which is cool. But this is still, I still find it to be a strange opening song. He repeats like maybe next time, and so it's like, I don't know. Already you can kind of feel like, yeah, maybe the band was done, and they're kind of hoping like, oh, maybe next time it'll be better. Yeah, How It Feels to Be Something On, much better. All right, track 2, Theo B. This one's pretty raw, but it starts off with that really cool bass line, like. And then it becomes kind of happy, and I was always like, I always kind of wanted it to like keep that, just the bass. I don't know, like the guitars are cool, but like, yeah, this is one of the rawest songs. So Theo B, Red Elephant, 5-4, Waffle, Iscarabaid, and Jannah. All of these were written for this record. They were all really raw, mostly unfinished. The vocals are pretty much all scratch vocals. Jeremy Enyaq just barking and screaming throughout, which is fun. I like how at the beginning of the song he says like, "I had a dream you still loved me, but is it my imagination?" That's, yeah, I mean, there's good lines. Jeremy Enyaq comes up with good lines here and there, but on this song and also the other songs that are all unfinished is like the vulnerability. He has a really painful kind of desperation at times. And I mean, that's what I like about the Seattle sound. That's what I like about grunge music is like it's so painful and vulnerable, and yet it's like it's necessary, and I think with the band basically breaking up, while they were still in the studio and trying to finish this record, knowing that they were not going to tour, they were not going to be a band again, and just trying desperately to finish this album, it brings a kind of really unique energy, and you can feel the dark cloud kind of looming over this record, even though it's still a really great album. All right, track 3, Red Elephant. I have no idea what Jeremy Enyaq is singing about, but this one is really catchy. This one, like, as soon as it comes on, I'm like, I gotta listen to it all the way through, because it's just, there's something in there that really pulls me along. Yeah, it's a cool one. I really wish that the lyrics were a little more concrete, or a little more like understandable. Like, he's pretty far back in the mix. Obviously, it's a scratch vocal. Yeah, it's too bad because I think this song could have been really, really amazing with better lyrics. And I do also like the ending. I like the way that it just builds and builds and it becomes kind of like a wall of sound. All right, moving on to track 5/4, which is the time signature. I played the song for Jasmine one time, and she was like, "Why do bands want to make songs that are like difficult and like not catchy?" And I was like, "Come on, it's a pretty good song. Like, I know it's like the emphasis is all weird and it makes you feel all uncomfortable, but like, I mean, it's still a pretty good song." This song is also interesting because it begins so slowly, and I feel like it's kind of like it kind of foreshadows his solo music a little bit, and then it just builds to that, like, again, the catharsis. Like, a lot of these songs have great catharsis moments, and I'm a big fan of songs that build to a catharsis. One of the things I actually like about this song, that makes it so raw and wild, is like Jeremy Enick is like, "Should I go on and set my life before you?" or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what he's singing, but then when he says that, he kind of like freaks out and kind of, he has like, his voice kind of continues, and you have to kind of hear it, but like raw emotion just flowing from all the band members. And then does he say Jesus at the end of that song? Like, "Dear Jesus," I don't know. Jeremy Enick and his spiritualism and all the complicated things that came along with it, breaking up the band, and all right. The next track, Waffle. Waffle, you can fight me on this, but I feel like Waffle is a true grunge song. Like, listen to how that begins. I wanted it to just stay there, but then it becomes like a Modest Mouse song. Like, the way that the guitars and like, it's that weird, like, almost like a calliope melody or like a circus melody, which again, Jeremy Enick would explore on his album Return of the Frog Queen. And then the guitars like droning over the top of it, like the lead guitars droning, and it's just so Modest Mouse. Like, I can't get over how Modest Mouse that is. It almost sounds like something off the Moon and Antarctica or something. That song actually goes through a lot of changes, which I always like songs that go through a lot of changes. So, and then track 6, 8. The song 8, which was on the Batman Forever soundtrack, weirdly. And that was actually a B-side too. Was this re-recorded for this album? I think it was re-recorded for this album. This is also from the Diary Sessions, and you can tell because it's like a complete song. But yeah, this is like everybody's favorite Sunny Day Real Estate song, at least like, the people who don't know Sunny Day Real Estate. It's not even like one of their best songs. Like, it's a good song, but I mean, like a Seattle sound kind of sound. And, when I would listen to the Batman Forever soundtrack, I would often listen to it. But at the same time, I would also listen to like Seal's Kiss from a Rose. So like, I mean, I didn't really know or have that good of taste when I was 12 years old in 1995. But that was the first Sunny Day Real Estate song that I heard, was 8. And so I guess it always holds a special place in my heart because of the Batman Forever soundtrack. Sunny Day Real Estate, oh, that's a cool name for a band, I would check them out, And then I heard Diary, and it was like, yeah, fucking A, man. This is the shit. 8 is, yeah, okay, but I mean, have you heard Diary? But little did I know that, 8 was from the Diary Sessions. So this song also has some of the best lyrics on the album. The chorus is interesting. I always thought he was saying "sway lover." I don't know why, because that's what it sounds like he's saying. But it's actually "sweet clover," which people have taken to mean maybe it's like a four-leaf clover, like he's hoping for good luck within the war zone, because then the next part is the "whose side you on, which side you on, silence near the battle cry, hollow victory." Pretty badass lyrics, actually, for like not really being like a political song, but like it has that edge to it that makes it kind of badass. I love the part where he says, "Which lie do you own? Which lie do you own? When lines divide, I walk away. Blazing sun sets on my back." That is badass. Like, that's actually some of the best Sunny Day lyrics right there. I really, really like that. He can feel the heat of battle. He can feel, the pressure. but he's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not part of this war, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't even mean war in like a, you know, literal sense. It could be a metaphorical war. It could be a fight between people. It could be a fight between him and someone else. It's just, you know, you can take those lyrics to mean anything, which is awesome. But I just love that image of like, you know, he just walks away with the blazing sun on his back. It's really, really cool. Jeremy Enyak has really great like visuals, visual imagery in his lyrics. All right, track 7, Iscarabaid. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but the second Modest Mouse song on the record. The emphasis of this song rhythmically is very bizarre. The meter or whatever you want to call it. I'm not so good at music, but you know, the sense, I mean, even if you don't know anything about music, like it's just such a weird feeling, weird atmosphere of the song. And he basically just barks all of his lyrics. It's kind of like Sunny Day Real Estate doing like post-punk, I guess. All right, track 8, Jana. I actually prefer the version that came out on the live record from 1999. Sunny Day Real Estate Live. This is a really, really great live record. Their only live record. I used to have this on VHS actually back in the day. But yeah, Jana is on here, and it's a really, really great vocal performance from Jeremy Enyak. Just a really incredible performance. I can't recommend the live version highly enough. Live, they really capture what this song wanted to be. More than on the record, it's almost like a demo. And then the last track, Rodeo Jones. Of course, on the 2009 remaster, there are 2 additional tracks. But on the original, Rodeo Jones was the last song. And maybe my favorite song. No, for sure my favorite song. Not maybe. It's my favorite song on the record. Rodeo Jones has that amazing lyric, "Off of my hand flew a snow white dove." That alone really makes this a beautiful song. I don't know how I feel about the title Rodeo Jones. It's kind of a goofy name for a song, especially because I come from a little town where the rodeo was really popular and I escaped from there and I never want to go back. But Rodeo Jones. Anyway, this is a badass song. This is a really, really well done song. It's also from the Diary Sessions. It's a complete song. It's really beautiful. He sings about Shakespeare. There's some really cool lyrics where he says, Shakespeare sang dust to dust, so too my life. Kind of gave me chills the first time I heard it. And just, yeah, the part about the white dove flying off of his hand. Absolutely beautiful song. And it's a good album closer, too. On the remaster, there are 2 bonus tracks, Spade and Parade and Bucket of Chicken. Both of which are pretty good songs. They're also solid. I don't have so much to say about either one other than Bucket of Chicken is a terrible name for a beautiful song. But yeah, the remaster is pretty good. I like the fact that they included the extra songs on there, and I really like these liner notes. All right, that's pretty much the end. I would like to hear what you have to say. If you feel like this album means something to you, or you feel like it's a little bit overrated, or if you feel like it is their second record, because as I said earlier, I don't really consider this to be their second record. I feel like this is, you know, outtakes and extras from Diary plus some weird experiments and demos, and I really consider How to Be Something on their second record. I know that's crazy, but that's me. Yeah, I'm just saying what I feel. You know, you can fight me if you want in the comments, but I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this record? Do you like Sunny Day Real Estate? Do you not know who they are and you're just discovering them, or whatever you want to say? So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again.